Okay. I'm not sure. Oh, pause, stop, and now it's working.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's great. That's all I needed. Hey guys, how's it going? Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Oh, Harold, your voice has gotten even deeper. Oh my gosh, who's here? Oh, Dana. Oh, this is so nice. Holy crap, 28 people and counting. Oh, this is really exciting, guys. I'm so glad to see you all.
Hey, Chilano.
Who's that?
Me.
Oh,
Alexa.
Harold. What's up, bestie?
What's up, bestie? How you been?
I'm good. I'm good. You know, kind of bored. I believe it or not, I miss my job. You know, this part is not fun for me. You know, Alexa, who I haven't heard from Daniela. Is she okay?
You didn't hear from me and Daniela. Daniela's okay. She just like my bestie's like pretty like I don't know. She doesn't join because she sleeps like at 4 or 5 in the morning.
Holy God, that would
Yeah,
kill
me too. But like I do wake up.
Yeah. Well, and you've been doing your work too, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, I'll talk to you about that later. I just was worried about her and wanted to check in. Okay, well, I'm just gonna jump right into it today. I'm gonna be trying to do a few different things, including showing you guys a video. Just as an aside, I'm gonna be posting our new ELA schedule on Google Classroom, on Insta, anywhere that I can post it. Also, as a side note here, Cassandra, are you with us today?
Yes, sadly.
Hey, there you are, girl. So every week, and I forgot to tell you this, and maybe Miss Kim may have told you, for those kids that do their work and that communicate with their teachers, they're doing a raffle. Did you get anybody?
Mm-hmm.
You guys knew about this?
Yes, my mom
Hey,
told me.
look at Miss Kim. All right, so I mean it's pretty obvious at this point. Last week's big winner, Cassandra Ramirez, you win a $25 Amazon gift card.
Woo!
Woo!
I didn't even know, but all right.
Amazing.
Come on, Cesar! There you are, brother. Oh, it's good to see you guys. I'm just seeing some faces. Adrian, is it Lolly, my Shelly? Oh, this is so nice, guys.
I'm just ready to go back to sleep.
Oh, I know. I hear you.
It's 9 in the morning, Chilon.
It's 9 in the morning. I should be waking up in like 2 hours.
I wake up at like 2 in the afternoon.
I wake up at 3.
This
Yeah.
illegal.
That's not so good, guys.
I don't want to wake up at all.
That's called a coma, Harold. That's a coma. Don't do that.
No, I was talking about death. That's different.
Oh, that's the big coma.
Okay.
Not fun. Very restful,
took a
though, I
twist.
hear.
Yeah.
Took
You know,
a
resting.
twist.
There you go.
Can we like save this meeting for later? Like, I want to go to sleep.
After I eat.
Yes. I want to eat. I'm hungry, man.
Okay, well, I will tell you what. I will consider starting this meeting later.
Yeah.
Por favor.
Yeah.
I'll pay attention.
Okay,
Let's
okay.
go.
One language is enough. You know, I'm a simple man. Okay, so with that said, today we are going to have this meeting at this time, and so I'm going to jump right into it. I've got a few things that I wanted to share with you. Today we are starting a new story, and it's again, I like this platform because it allows me to pick out my favorite stories, and this is one of my. Palayo, put your damn hand down. You're making me nuts. This is one of my favorite stories of all time. It is also by the same author as last week, whose name is escaping me Ray Bradbury, excuse me. And it's just an absolutely fantastic story, and it's about time travel. So without any further ado, I want to give you some background information that I think is a little bit fun and helpful. So I'm going to share my screen, and hopefully you guys will be able to see it. And I'm going to try to go to the internet, and hopefully I don't screw that up. And I'm looking over here. Do you guys see my screen?
I can't see.
Do you guys see my
I
screen?
can't see.
Cholono, don't mess this up the
Cholono's
same.
lagging.
Cholono,
guys-
I can't see. Screen is black.
Okay, I'm having, it sounds like there's some
I can
internet
see.
troubles.
You keep lagging.
Okay,
Cholono's lagging.
Yes.
well, let me.
Already messing it up this
Lagging
early.
friends. Here, let me
Someone
kick some
press
people off the internet.
Cholona,
Yeah,
Cholona, your screen is black for me.
okay, so let me,
I can see a kitty cat.
guys,
I can't see anything.
everybody stop talking. Give me a second. Everybody off the internet. Including Sienna. All right, whoever's doing the cutesy little note taking, please stop. And it should be better. Please, I'm going to go back to this screen. Forgive me, guys. Thanks for staying with me. Can you see me now?
Yes.
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 Okay, so let's try this over again. Sorry about that, guys. So I'm going to try to screen share screen. Do you guys see a kitty cat?
No, it's black.
It's
It's a
still
kitty
black.
cat.
I can see it.
You can see
It's
it?
just black.
Yeah, I can see it.
Beautiful. Okay. So if you can't see it, it may be your internet that's lagging. So let's sally forth here. Again, I wanted to give you some background information for A Sound of Thunder, our new story. One of the things that The Sound of Thunder revolves around, one of the concepts, is called the butterfly effect. Has anybody ever heard of the butterfly effect before?
I did.
Oh, yeah, I feel like I've heard, but I forgot what it was.
Yeah.
I know.
Yes.
Does anybody happen to know what it is?
When you do
Isn't
something
it like when
future.
you mess up something in the future, something like that, and it
When
affects
you mess up something in the past and it
in the
affects.
past?
And it affects the future? That's,
Yeah.
okay, guys, thank you. That is one way of looking at the butterfly effect. So I'm going to introduce you to the butterfly effect with a couple of videos, and then I'm going to introduce you to the lesson. So very briefly, I have this article in front of me. It says, what exactly is the butterfly effect? Whilst butterfly wings can be used to do some amazing things, they have the power. Do they really have the power to change weather? The answer might surprise you. Chaos is about to ensue, so hold on tight. What is the butterfly effect? A simple explanation. One of the best ways to understand a complex idea is to make an easy to understand metaphor. In this case, chaos theory, the term the butterfly effect was created to attempt just such a thing. The metaphor goes as so. Does the snap of a butterfly's wings in Brazil set off a tornado in Texas? It isn't meant to imply that this could actually happen, just that a small event like this at the right time and the right place could, in theory, trigger a set of events that will ultimately culminate in the formation of a hurricane on the other side of the world. This was coined by one Edward Lorenz almost 45 years ago during the 139th meeting of the Association for the Advancement of Science. It could prove to be very popular and has been embraced by popular culture ever since. Okay, whoever's making the annoying sounds, please mute thyself. Lorenz was a meteorology professor at MIT. He developed the concept, but never ever actually intended it for it to be applied in the way that it has become all too commonly been used. Whilst it sounds a little ridiculous as a concept, is not meant to be taken literally. The butterfly effect the metaphor is simply meant to demonstrate that little insignificant small events can lead to significant results over time. So what that's saying is that small changes, such as a butterfly flapping its wings, could theoretically have huge and exponentially powerful changes on the world. Let me show you a couple of videos to give you an idea. One I think you've already seen before, and one you haven't. Let me play just the first 2 minutes of this. 2 minutes and 2 minutes only. Here we go.
The butterfly effect. What are these things really? Hey there, future internet users. I've been Trace, and I will hopefully still be him in the future, and this is probably still D-News. We're gonna see. You've probably heard about the butterfly effect, usually explained by the idea that a butterfly flaps its wings in Brazil and causes a hurricane in Texas. Premise ridiculous. Of course they cannot do that. There are millions of butterflies. If everyone caused the beginnings of a storm, Earth would be in chaos. The thing is, that's not really what the butterfly effect is about. It's about how tiny changes in big systems can have complex results. Systems in this case could be anything from weather patterns to how big groups of asteroids move to how lots of people interact. For an example of a system, picture a tilt-a-whirl ride at a carnival. If you don't know what that is, it's a rotating and shifting platform with shell-like cars, each rotating on a smaller circle with people in it. It has rules, and it follows those rules rigidly. The platform rotates the same every time, and the carts can only rotate around specific points. By analyzing this, you can see the butterfly effect. If I, say, sat alone in one of the tilt-a-whirl carts, it would spin completely differently than if you sat in there with me, right? Together, we would be heavier, and the cart would have a completely different ride. Every spin would be completely different from when I took the ride alone, and unpredictably. Now imagine all the carts as part of a system, with tiny changes to each, someone being a little lighter or heavier in a cart, someone sitting forward on the seat or with their back on the wall. All of these tiny variations affect the whole tilt-a-whirl system. That's the butterfly effect, which does have a scientific name, sensitive dependence on physical conditions. This was originally discovered by an MIT mathematician and meteorologist, Edward Graham, who was using an old computer to calculate weather patterns. He ran a simulation and wanted to see it again. The first time, he put the data into 6 decimal places, but figured the second time those tiny fractions of a degree wouldn't matter, so he only used 3 decimal places. In the end, because he cut out just those few fractions of a fraction, the whole simulation completely changed. It was unrecognizable the second time. And that's when the crap hit the counter. At the time, mathematicians thought if you changed a little at the start, it would only change a little at the end. That was logical. But these systems don't behave that way, and we needed new math to understand why. In walks chaos theory.
All right. And with that, I'm going to play you a video you may have already seen before. That was found in a movie. And in this movie, Jurassic Park, one of my favorite characters from the movies, gives an explanation about chaos theory and the butterfly effect.
Now, eventually, you do plan to have dinosaurs on your dinosaur tour, right? Hello? Hello? Yes?
I really hate that man.
See, the Tyrannosaur doesn't have any set patterns or park schedules, the essence of chaos.
Still not clear on chaos.
It simply deals with predictability in complex systems. The shorthand is the butterfly effect. A butterfly can flap its wings in Peking, and in Central Park you get rain instead of sun.
Why?
And then I go too fast. I did a flyby. Give me that big glass of water. We're going to conduct an experiment. It should be still. The car's bouncing up and down, but that's okay. It's just an example. Now, put your hand flat like a hieroglyphic. Now, let's say a drop of water falls in your hand. Which way is the drop going to roll off? Of one finger or over the thumb or the other?
Thumb.
Okay. Okay. Now freeze your hand. Don't move. I'm going to do the same thing. Start with the same place again. Which way is going to roll off? Back. So same. has tiny variations.
Small changes.
The orientation of the hairs.
Yeah, look at this.
The amount of blood descending to vessels, infections in the skin.
Infections in the skin.
Microscopic, and never repeat and vastly affect the outcome. That's one.
Unpredictability.
That's the butterfly effect.
Look at this. See, I'm right again. Nobody could have predicted that Dr. Grant would suddenly jump out of a moving vehicle. There's another example.
All right. You guys still with me there?
I can't understand anything or see anything.
Okay. So this is.
I don't even get what the second video was
The
talking about.
audio
only the
keeps
first
the
one.
audio.
Yeah, the audio keeps like.
Screen is black.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. So it sounds like some people can see it and some people can't. I don't know what to do except for keep going forward. If you can't see anything, this could be you are having a problem with the internet. And what I will do is I'm going to post this video in just a few minutes. So unfortunately, I mean, if you're having tons of trouble, try to stay with me. Otherwise, you'll be able to see the video on YouTube in just a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go to our common lit assignment, and hopefully people can see that.
The audio keeps cutting.
Okay, guys, so there's nothing I can do at this point. Again, I'm recording this, so if you have troubles with the audio or the video, you'll be able to see it later. Precisely. So let's let that go for now, please. I just want to touch really quickly on a problem that at least one person has been having with logging in. So to log in, again, you just click on here. You click on log in with Google. And then, of course, you pick your appropriate account. If you are still having trouble, and one of the people is Ayana, I will sit down with you personally on a Zoom call and we'll get it figured out. But that should do it. And you should be able to access this through Google Classroom. So hopefully that works. Let me go back here and get to the heart of the lesson. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in as a student. Use my student login here. There I am. And I'm going to go over to, I see my assignment list, and this is the new assignment. I'll just add that some of you had your assignment returned to you last week because it wasn't up to standard. You need to return it in, otherwise it shows as a 0. This is our new assignment for today, A Sound of Thunder by Ray Bradbury. So you've seen this before. Ray Bradbury, 1920 to 2012, was an American author and screenwriter. Bradbury wrote in various genres, including fantasy, science fiction, horror, and mystery fiction. In this short story set in the future, a man travels back in time to when the dinosaurs walked the earth. As you read, make sure and take annotations. Got it. Check. So I'm going to go ahead and model what this should look like and remind you that annotations are mandatory. And with that, let's just jump in. A Sound of Thunder by Ray Bradbury, 1952. The sign on the wall seemed to quaver under a film of sliding warm water. Eccles felt his eyelids blink over his stare, and the sign burned in this momentary darkness. Time Safari Inc. Safaris to any year in the past. You name the animal, and we take you there, you shoot it. Okay. Fascinating. So this obviously takes place in the future. Oops. The business takes people on safari. To any year. Right. A warm phlegm, oh, didn't hit done. A warm phlegm gathered in Eccles' throat. He swallowed and pushed it down. The muscles around his mouth formed a smile as he put his hands slowly out upon the air. And in that way, hand waved a check for $10,000 to the man behind the desk. Damn, not cheap. Okay, 10 grand to do this safari. Does the safari guarantee I'll come back alive? We guarantee nothing, said the official, except
die.
yeah, that doesn't bode well for him. That does sound very nice, Harold.
Foreshadowing.
An awful lot like foreshadowing, my boy. There we go. We guarantee nothing, said the official, except the dinosaurs. Okay, so right on. What are they going to hunt? Anyone? Harold?
No.
They're going to hunt dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Going back to prehistoric times to hunt dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs. Very cute. I'm sure they'll be
I would like to do that.
Yeah, let's
sounds
go.
like fun, right?
I want some dino.
I'm sure the dinosaur would like to eat duck.
Yes. Yeah, I'm sure. Delicious. All right, Pelayo, shut it down for a second. He turned. This is Mr. Travis, your safari guide in the past. He'll tell you what and where to shoot. If he says no shooting, no shooting. If you disobey his instructions, there is a stiff penalty of another $10,000 plus possible government action on your return. So, what do we have here? This strikes me as very important. Why? What is that?
Foreshadowing.
Why do you think it's foreshadowing, Paul? Or is that Harold?
Harold, he can only shoot at a certain time. What if he ends up getting killed?
Okay. So what we see here, guys, is a warning.
Mm-hmm.
In literature, as we've talked about a billion times, warnings are almost, I know I misspelled that, it's okay, it's just a note, almost always foreshadowing. Eccles glanced across the vast office at a mass and tangle, a snaking and humming of wires, steel boxes at an aurora that flickered now orange, now silver, now blue. There was a sound like a gigantic bonfire burning of all time, all the years and all the parchment calendars, all the hours piled high and set aflame. A touch of the hand, and this burning would, on the instant, beautifully reverse itself. Eccles remembered the wording in the advertisement to the letter. Out of chars and ashes, out of dust and coals, like golden salamanders, the old years, green years, might leap. Roses sweeten the air, white hair turn Irish black, wrinkles vanish, everything fly back to seed, flee death, rush down to their beginnings. Suns rise in western skies, and in glorious east, moons eat themselves, opposite to custom. All and everything cupping one in another like Chinese boxes, rabbits into hats, and all the everything returning to the fresh death, the seed death, the green death, to a time before the beginning. A touch of a hand might do it. The merest touch of a hand. So a couple of things. I see that this whole, first of all, this is gorgeous. And actually, before I spoil it here, you know what? Just in case I do something stupid, which you guys know is possible, I want to see what this question is so I don't spoil it. Hey, I heard that, Palaio. So, what type of service does Time Safari Inc. provide? A timeshare service for safaris. That means you can rent apartments in the past. No.
No.
A time travel service for safaris. Possible.
Possible.
A timekeeping service for safaris. That means they'll time it for you. No, insipid. And finally, a time-saving service for safaris. Obviously, the answer is B, a time travel service for safaris. This whole paragraph here is a beautiful way of describing time going backwards. The moon eating itself. It's a gorgeous way of describing that. And just one other thing I wanted to mention, just because I'm connecting to another text also written by Ray Bradbury. Did you guys ever, in Mr. V's class last year, did you guys read Fahrenheit 451?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go.
What
was
Mr. B?
that? There you go. What was the symbol of the fireman?
Like good, I'm pretty sure. Something like
The symbol
that.
of the fireman was a salamander.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Same author. Probably means nothing, but it's interesting to me. Okay. So I want to review here what I've done. I've taken pretty copious notes. Not difficult. I've reacted to the text. I've made connections. I've commented on beautiful writing. I should have written that in here. I still can. Or maybe, can I? Edit annotation. Fantastic. Beautifully written. And I know I misspelled another word. Just like in the
Of course you did.
Yeah, I know.
Of course.
Of course. I've talked about literary devices such as foreshadowing. This is a very complete paper. Okay, this is exactly what your paper should look like. Can you please go ahead and do two things for me? I want you to read this section of text. I want you to annotate it and answer this question, question number 2. I will give you 2 minutes to do that. Can you guys do that for me?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Please take 2 minutes to do that section of text.
On our comment?
And I'm sorry, I should have had you open it up. Are you guys in front of computers?
Yeah.
No.
I am.
Okay, you know what? Let me do this a different way because I don't want you to take the time to do that. It doesn't make sense. We'll just do this in more of a we do format and I'll do all the typing here. Okay? I'll prepare for that kind of lesson tomorrow. I'll let you know. I'll give you a heads up before that happens. So let me just keep reading this one last section to you. Unbelievable, Eccles breathed, and the light of the machine on his thin face. A real time machine. He shook his head. Makes you think if the election had gone badly yesterday, it might be here now running away from the results. Thank God Keith won. He'll make a fine president of the United States. Does anybody find anything about it? So first of all, this guy is he's going on a little vacation here. If you've ever seen the movie, what the heck is that movie called? Arnold Schwarzenegger. All right, I'm going back too far. But the idea is here is he's going on a little vacation. He's going on a little vacation and he's going to go back in time and shoot a dinosaur. Why is he talking about this? Does that strike anybody as strange? Why is he talking about the presidency in an election? Why is he talking about an election? Weird. It's a weird thing for the author to include. Strange inclusion by author. When we see strange inclusions, it may mean
Maybe
foreshadowing.
the future. Maybe
Right.
more in the future instead of the past.
That's right. Yes, said the man behind the desk. We're lucky. If Deutscher had gotten in, we'd have the worst kind of dictatorship. Sounds a little bit like a warning. There's an anti-everything man for you, a militarist, antichrist, anti-human, anti-intellectual. People called us up, joking but not joking. Said if Deutscher became president, they wanted to go live in 1492. Of course, it's not our business to conduct escapes, but to form safaris. Anyway, Keith's president now. All you've got to worry about is shooting my dinosaur. Eccles finished it for him. A Tyrannosaurus Rex, the tyrant lizard, the most incredible monster in history. Scientists, if anything happens to you, that's terrifying. We're not responsible. Those dinosaurs are hungry. Nice. Pelayo, that's got to be you. Knock it off. All right, let's look at our second question. Which of the following describes why Eccles wants to go back in time? If you don't know this answer, see your doctor or pharmacist immediately. He wants to escape his life in the present.
No.
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 He wants to hunt and kill a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not possible. He wants to see a dinosaur in its natural habitat. No, that is your distractor. It mentions a dinosaur. It's talking about going back in time and seeing the prehistoric era, but it's not precise enough. Yes, he wants to see it, but he wants to see it and kill it. He wants to prove that he's brave enough to face a dinosaur.
No.
Again, not precise enough. And your answer is B.
Lo quiere matar.
Okay, so I want to move up. So I want to sum up what I've done here. Okay, I've answered the world's easiest guiding questions that check to make sure I'm understanding what's going on. I'm taking notes, not partial notes, thorough notes. I'm commenting on fun things like foreshadowing. Setting takes place in the future. I'm commenting on the writing. I'm making connections. None of this is hard, all right? And yet, so many of you struggled with it last week. Please, ladies and gentlemen, this is important. This matters. I have reduced work to almost nothing for you guys, all right? And I also know that other teachers will be reviewing their work to make sure that it's not too much for you, okay? We just talked about that this morning. Get your work done and make sure it's done right. We've talked about this before. If you start practicing error, you'll get really good at error, right? And again, last thing, and I said this last week as well, I don't know what's going to happen with regards to grades. I don't know what's going to happen with regards to acceptance to schools. You don't either. All right. So make sure you keep this up. You don't have a ton of work. Do it right. Do we have any questions about anything we've gone over today? And I want to apologize in front ahead of time and say, I'm so sorry about the internet connections. We've had some troubles over the last 24 hours, so it may be me. Okay? Questions, guys. Who's got some? No questions at all? Whoa, hello, Mariah, my friend. You look beautiful. Omar. Holy God, this is such a wonderful turnout, guys. It's so good to see you guys. You guys have no questions? Okay, let me ask someone a question then if you don't mind. How about, who can answer me this question? How many Reading Plus assignments do you need to do?
3.
3.
Tres.
Only
1, 2,
3. If you have Lexia, that is the most important thing you're doing right now. Please do your Lexia. It is only an hour every week. That's nothing. An hour for the whole week. Any other questions?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.